Hello and welcome back to II. As you might have guessed, a totally different subject this time. Do you still play Konami cartridge games, aka ROMs, on the MSX? I do sometimes. Guilty. Did you know you can save your progress and store data for many Konami MSX games? In this day and age, you play them on real hardware with the use of a Mega FlashROM SCC Plus SD card cartridge, an emulator, a one-chip MSX, OCM, or a MiSTer FPGA. Do you use SofaRun, the holy grail, when playing these Konami ROMs? Probably yes for most of these options. Okay, enough questions. You want answers. To do this, you needed an MSX Game Master cartridge or Game Master 2 cartridge. What MSX Konami games can actually benefit from these Game Master cartridges? Ah, no, another question. Well, Konami made a nice inventory of games numbered from RC700 up to RC769. That should be 70 games, right? Oh no, too bad. Some of those numbers are also for the Game Masters. A synthesizer game, puzzle game Quarth, and there were some numbers that were never released. So we'll take those out of the equation. That leaves us with 58 games. Let's start with the Game Master or Konami no Gemu o 10倍たのしむカートリッジ. This Game Master supports 47 of the 58 Konami games. 44 of these games are MSX1 games. The only MSX game that doesn't work is the RC754 Shalom Nightmare 3. The three MSX2 games that it supports are Vampire Killer, Firebird aka Hinotori, and Ganbare Gumon. Let's try out the Game Master with openMSX. There's a new version, a couple of months already, and it's version 20.0. And we don't have to use Catapult anymore. It's still available and you can still use it. But now all the menus can be found here. That's pretty nice. We need an MSX machine that not only has MSX1 capabilities. For this test, we'll do MSX1. But it also must have a diskette drive. And that's where it's going to get hard to find. I think I saw there's a Sony. This is the one, yeah. Luxurious machine with separate keyboard and a disk drive. Because this is an old MSX, it probably needs a diskette that's only one-sided. So we're going to use a 360 kilobyte disk drive. So let's see. Do we have that here? First, the disk. We have a disk and it's called this one, 360K. Okay, we need that one. Apply. Okay. Then we'll need the Game Master ROM, and we place it in slot 1 like this, and then say okay. And in slot B, we press, I want to try Super Cobra. Apply. Okay. We'll boot. Let's go to full screen. If you use a Game Master, there's one thing you directly notice is that you need a keyboard. You can't use your controller to control the menu. That does not work. So you really need a keyboard. We'll go to Modify. For this game, we can't set the stage number, but we can set the number of players or lives. Say Enter. And a ranking mode. I think this also works. Yes. Let's clear it. And let's say Start. I want to play it with the controller, see if that works. No, not yet. I think if I press 1, I hope it works. Oh, it will now ask for my initials or my high score name for the list II and say OK. And yeah, the controls work. So we now have 4 lives, 1 life more than usual. And now we can also store the game. So if we press F8, that's stop. And then control, we have to press this one. This one doesn't do anything. Let's see. So press that one, and then we can say save. We had such a good start. Let's say save the game data. And then you type in Super Cobra, so it's Super C, and then type 1. It's just a name. And then it will store it to the disk we just added. The 360K diskette. It's now processing. Yeah, and it's saved to the disk. And if we now press space end and stop to continue. Oh, I need my controller. Then we can continue. And if we will die now, we can then press stop and control and then load from the disk. And we don't want to load high scores. You can also save high scores. That's also a nice thing to do. And then you can say game data. Okay, searching. And it finds Super C1. That's the one we made. Hey, we're back to where we were. And if we now say stop again, we will continue. This way we can save the game. And that's how it works. But we want a high score, right? So we gotta keep going just a little bit. Alright. Well, it's actually not totally fair because I have an extra life, so the chance of me getting a high score is, of course, should be harder, but we're not testing it. Okay. Now we have a high score, or a score, and we can check it if we now press stop again and control, and we look at the ranking mode, and we say display data. Oh, we're on second place. Only if you increase your previous score, it will be added to the scoring list. So if you score lower than the 5,390, then it won't be noted. That's the ranking mode, the saving mode, etc., etc. You can also save to a tape, but that takes a lot longer because then I think it really creates an audio sound and you really need to record it. So that's pretty weird, but it does work if you have a tape recorder. You could also save, if you say save, you can also say, I want to save the high score or ranking data of the rankings we just did. And even screen data. Screen data is actually a screenshot. You can save the screenshot, it saves it to a certain file name. You can then go into basic and with a small command you can convert it to a real image, but that's a different story. That's what I like about it. You can just save your status, you can save your progress. There are 3 games I showed you already. Those are the free MSX2 games. So we need an MSX2 machine to be able to play those. But with the Game Master 1, and then we have to switch around the slots. So the game will be in slot 1 and the Game Master will be in slot 2. Now we need a computer that's also capable of running the MSX 2. Take a classic Philips. Let's do the classics. It even has 1 disk drive, and it's a double-sided disk drive. So that's nice. And then we need the cartridge slot. So we're first going to use the Game Master one, as I said before. We'll put Vampire Killer. I have all the MSX2 games here, so we'll use Vampire Killer. Okay, and then we do apply. Okay. And then we do in slot B cartridge the Game Master. We also have it here already, so select it again. Apply and say okay. Well, we now do reboot. Automatically, full screen. Here we go. What we get is Vampire Killer is just starting. You think, hey, where's my Game Master? Well, because Game Master starts in the second slot, we don't get Game Master intro or opening screen. So, if we now push space, or space to start, we get a menu. And here we have the options. What stage number do you want to start? So we press space again, and we say number 4. Because this is a hard game. Remember that. This is a hard game. So how many lives you need for that last few levels? Let's say 80. Let's start. If I use my controller, it should also start. So I think, no. See, this is still part of the Game Master menu, so you still have to use the keyboard. So as soon as you press space, the game starts. And I think you can now use a controller. I'm using this PlayStation clone. No, it doesn't work. So, haha. Then we'll use the keys. I think I have to do a setting. And this is stage 4, as you can see, and I have 79 lives. This is so hard. How can you beat this guy without getting hit? You gotta have extra weapons. Okay, this works. Why did I choose Vampire Killer and not Atari Firebird or another game? Well, in Firebird you can't see the stage number and the number of lives you have, so it's a little bit hard to demonstrate. So okay, this also works. Now let's see if we can also get this working for the MiSTer FPGA together with SofaRun. I've started up the MiSTer, and let's start up the MSX Core. Here we go. Still have my alt menu. I want to change that. We're now booting into SofaRun. It's opening the zip file with all my Konami games. Scroll to Penguin Adventure. And we're going into the settings, and we're going to check if we've enabled Game Master 1. Yes, we have. I also use the MSX1 palette just for nostalgic reasons. And then we say cancel because it was already set correctly. And then we start SofaRun, and it uses SofaRun to combine the 2 cartridges. First the Game Master 1, and then the ROM for the Konami game Penguin Adventure. First again we start with the Game Master. You need a keyboard, you can't control it with the controller. We'll do modify. Let's say we start at stage number 6. And we use a number of lives, 16. and start the game. We start at stage 6 with 16 lives. The end key is the default stop key for the MSX Core in MiSTer FPGA. I haven't reconfigured any keyboard keys for this demo. Okay, we're pretty far in the stage, so let's save. We'll do to a disk. We don't need an actual disk because SofaRun will save it in a folder called saves automatically, and you don't need to add a disk where it will copy these files to. That's easy, and that's cool about SofaRun. Let's say Pangal 06. Saving takes a long time. We play further. Oh, I died. Let's load our save game. And it's searching, it's already found it. And there we are. And press stop. The stop button on the MiSTer is the end key. So that's different from openMSX. When you use SofaRun, you automatically get the two Game Master ROMs. They only renamed them to SRAM.gm1 and SRAM.gm2. They're actually the same files, but they are used by the SRAM program to be added to the loading of the ROMs in SofaRun. There is only one problem. SRAM can only load the ROM for the Game Master in slot 1. Some games cannot use the combination of Game Master in slot 2 and the game in slot 1. You know the games I mentioned earlier: Vampire Killer, Firebird, and Ganbare Gumon. Here is the save path for SofaRun. I renamed it to SAV instead of saves. I like to keep my folders short in MSX. In this folder, all the disk saves with Game Master and Game Master 2 are saved. To demonstrate that it doesn't work, I'm going to start up Vampire Killer with Game Master 1 in slot 1. And you'll see what happens. I set the language to international, not that it doesn't matter. Start the game. As you would expect, the program now starts with the Game Master and not with the game Vampire Killer. The options Game and Modify don't work because Game Master has to be in slot number 2 to be able to work for this game. The Game Master in combination with SofaRun can only run 44 MSX1 games. The only thing left to do is reset. On to the Game Master 2. In Japanese, it's almost called the same as the Game Master, but this time they named it Konami no Shinju by Katuritsu, also known as Konami's new cartridge to enjoy 10 times. It supports all 58 Konami games. I'll show what its extra options are and what it can do compared to the Game Master. It has the ability to store games in the SRAM of the Game Master 2 itself. There are some caveats and there are some differences between the openMSX and the MiSTer FPGA with SofaRun. Let's try the Game Master 2 on openMSX. Game Master 2 can do a lot more games. First, select an MSX machine that is an MSX2 or higher. Philips 8245. It has double-sided diskette drive. Media, let's see, the cartridges it can support. It can support all the MSX2 games, those are these, but also the MSX1 games. This is all the games. All the games are available for the Game Master 2. But you can't save the high scores no more, but you can't use the ranking mode no more. In slot 1, we put the Game Master 2. Don't forget, this is the same as the Game Master 1. You put it in slot 1. And in the second slot, you put the cartridge Kings Valley 2. This is the MSX2 version. And let's say apply. We'll do full screen. All right, let's check. Slot A, we have the Game Master 2. Slot B, we have Kings Valley 2, the MSX2 version. And in the disk drive, we have Konami Save 2 disk. Here we have the startup screen for the MSX2 with the Game Master 2 in a European MSX. In a European MSX, you get the Game Master 2 title on top of the screen. If you have a Japanese MSX, you won't see that text at the top. I'll try that out later, but that's easier to do with SofaRun, so I'm not going to do this on the openMSX. And here we can directly start the game. We can also do modify again, and that's the usual stuff. Stage number or number of players. That's it. Start the game. Oh yeah, and saving a game in openMSX. Yeah, actually you really don't need the Game Master, but I just wanted to show that if you wanted to use the Game Master option and you wanted to save your files on a real disk, or copy them over to a disk for real MSX systems, you can use this. So, what can you then do? If you want a quick save, you can use F8. It makes a quick save. We're not gonna quick save. Okay, let's play a game. And let's say we want to skip this intro every time, and we don't want to press normal and load and that and this and that. So we want to start directly here. So we hit up. So we hit the button. Not save. Stop. And then control. And we'll say disk save. And we say game data. And then we say Kings Valley level left 1. And then we say enter. Ah, yes, it did work. And then we say end. And then say stop to continue. Have to wait for the moment to pass. Alright. Let's say, oh, I made a mistake or something, I don't know. Then you say stop. Load. Game data. Searching. And then we get A. And this is on the 720 kilobytes. It's loading the screen from top to bottom. Take some time. Yes, now it's back. It's always funny to see. Then we say stop. We can do it again. Oh no, now we made a mistake. Okay, this is how this works. You can also try something else. Okay, let's do full screen. Game Master starts up. And we're going to play Nemesis 3 with slow motion options. So, yeah, modify. We don't need to start it. We have slow motion options. So, just take Alright, so we start the game. Let's go. This goes too fast for me. Then you press escape. And then you can go with delete. Speed up the device. And it's not fast enough. Faster. Faster. By pressing delete. Oh, it's fast. Press insert to slow it down. To the halt. You can even halt it. Then there's another option. If you just okay, I want to go back to full play. Press stop again, and then you have semicolon. If you press this, it will go screen by screen. So this is not very practical, but this way you could clear a level, but this takes very long. You could maybe use this for small parts, but I wouldn't use it at all. So we go back. So by pressing this one, you first need to press escape, or else you cannot do the delete and insert trick. If I now do delete, it will not go faster. So I press escape, delete. Top speed. Alright, so that's cool. What you can also do is press the normal pause button, and that's F1, and then you can use the S and the L. S for save and L for load. And this will save it to the SRAM part inside of the Game Master cartridge. I don't know if this works on emulation. Well, we'll see. So if I now press S for save, oh, it says save failed, so it doesn't work. That's too bad. Load failed, of course, because the save failed. If I press F1, we just continue. Okay, let's do another test. We add the diskette in the drive of the MSX machine Philips. In slot A, we put solid snake, apply. Okay, and in slot B, we have the Game Master 2 cartridge. And you say, okay. Now we go full screen. And why it didn't save was probably because we first have to format the SRAM, and we can do that here. Here we can do format, and we say yes. The SRAM has been formatted. We do end, and we start up Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. So this takes some time. And let's see if we can save on the SRAM. So it's a lot faster than saving to a diskette. So I'm going to skip this as fast as I can. You didn't see me, luckily. Alright, here we press F5 for save. And then we can do it to the diskette or to the SRAM. So if we do this, and we say let's do it to Snake 1. Hey, here it says save complete. So if we now do F1. Okay, let's get caught. And we'll do F5. We do load. We do SRAM. We'll say Snake 1. Hey, that's weird. It sets you back to the start of the level. That's the only difference. So it doesn't start you at... It doesn't start you at the start of where you left off. I think for this you need to use the other option, and that's save to disk. And there's also 3 options possible. So let's say Snake 1. This takes some time, of course. Oh, got out pretty fast. And okay. Let's get caught again. Oh. And say load. Disk. Snake 1. And again, I think it doesn't do it like it would normally. See? It starts you at the beginning of the level, so saving this way works differently. Now, Game Master 2 in slot 2 and Contra in slot 1. So we start here in Asphalt Jungle. That's standard. Go 2 screens ahead. F1, and then we say save completed. Then we press F1. Okay, we'll do F1, and then we say load completed. And if I now press F1, we'll start at screen. So that works. Back to SofaRun on the MiSTer FPGA. We'll try Parodius with the Game Master 2 in slot 1. Here you see SofaRun loads the Game Master 2 first, followed by the ROM Parodius. We'll play as the character from Nightmare. Let's see if we can save a parodious game in SRAM with SofaRun. First, press F1 to pause the game. Press S to save game in SRAM. It says save completed. Let's play along a little bit. Press pause and then press L to load. Load failed. Unfortunately, you can't save games in SRAM with SofaRun. This feature is available for 10 games, so you can scrape these off the list for SofaRun. Saving the game data, on the other hand, is still possible with SofaRun. Only saving a game takes a lot of time. Other Game Master 2 features that do work in SofaRun are the slow down options. First press stop, followed by escape, and then use the Del and INS keys to slow down or speed up the slow motion speed. The screen by screen option with the semicolon button also works in SofaRun. Press stop again to play in normal mode. To test the save disk option, let's load the disk game data. Go to end and press stop to continue playing. There's one Konami game that doesn't work with both Game Master and Game Master 2 in SofaRun, and that's Vampire Killer. We've already seen that it didn't work with the Game Master, and now I demonstrate that it doesn't work with the Game Master 2 either. Another difference I want to point out is that I now started it up in the Japanese version. That means the Game Master 2 also starts up thinking it's a Japanese machine. So you will get a different opening screen for the Game Master 2. You get the white Konami screen for this one, and then the Japanese Game Master 2 title screen. And here's the penguin again, but if you look closely, you'll see some small differences. The Japanese version has more shadows, more gray, and more depth in the drawings. I can't use game and modify, so I can only use self, but that's just tennis and hockey game, but no Vampire Killer. The only thing left is to reset the MSX. Let's test another MSX2 game with the Game Master 2. The game I chose is Firebird. This game does run with the Game Master 2 in slot 1. Here you can modify the stage number and modify the number of lives. So let's say stage number 2 and number of lives 5. I thought I'd make this video because not many people use the Game Master or know what it did, especially now when more and more people own a MiSTer FPGA. In the current time when using an emulator, you don't really need a Game Master at all, unless you want to save the data and later use it on a real MSX machine. When using an OCM or a MiSTer FPGA, using the Game Master or Game Master 2 in SofaRun has some flaws. The Game Master or Game Master 2 can't be used in slot 2. The games that can use SRAM from the Game Master 2 can't use it in SofaRun. There are 5 games that can't use the Game Master at all in SofaRun, and those are Vampire Killer, Contra, Mahjong 2, Gekitotsu Pennant Race 2, and Metal Gear 2. So overall, the Game Master is a bit quirky, but on a MiSTer you could still use it for a lot of Konami games if you want to. The simplest way is just using the Game Master 2 since it supports the most Konami games. If you really want to keep a record or personal rankings and high scores, try using it on games that support the Game Master. Most information about the Game Master 2 I found on the biffy.msxnet.org website, but the testing of the games in SofaRun was my personal quest. Subscribe to my channel if you like to, and thanks for watching. Bye!